Today I'm going to be changing the air filter in the Interceptor. The original air filter is a paper one and apparently quite restrictive. DNA High Performance have produced this air filter which is washable, okay, and is less restrictive, and to go with it they have another fixing plate which the original in the bike is also very restrictive. So we're going to put that on and then perhaps take it for a spin and see what improvements it's made. So the first thing we need to do is to take off the side panel, pop the seat off, and then when you've done that we can take off the other side panel, and then we're able to get to the filter itself. So let's get that done. To take off the left-hand side cover, you need to undo a screw which is just down there. Okay, it's a Torx T25 screw that just comes out, and then we can pull the side cover off. Right then, well, once the side cover is off, we can see the housing here for the filter. Okay, so it's just a simple matter of undoing these three. And these are Phillips screw heads there, so we just need to take those off. So that's the cover off, and you can see the air filter in there. That's the cover that was over it, and as you can see, extremely restrictive. The air has to go up there first and then turn 90 degrees before it then goes through the air filter itself. Now what you can do is, just to help it a bit, is that this can come off. I've been told that if you perhaps heat it up with a hairdryer around the seam here, that'll soften it and you're able to pull that off, and that will help a great deal. But what I did notice was, though, that it was actually still smaller than the plate that comes with the DNA filter. So I've decided not to do that. I've decided to use the DNA filter that came with it. At the time I got a deal anyway. The DNA filter you can get from Tech Bike Parts, and they were doing a deal that if you bought the two together, you saved sort of 15 quid or so. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was worthwhile buying the two together. So that's what I will do. Okay, let's well, what we'll do is we'll compare them. So there you go. So if you think about it, you're going to go from that and then turning 90 degrees to the air just going straight into the air filter. So that is going to make a big difference. And what we'll do now is we'll just take out the original air filter. Okay, and that just slides out. So there's the original air filter. It looks actually pretty clean. The bike's done just over 3,000 miles now. So, okay, so they're the two filters side by side, and it's just a simple matter of putting that back in its place, and then using the original screws that held that on. Oops, so you can see it. So using the original screws that held that on, just to put that back on again. Okay then, so let's do that. Okay, so the new DNA filter just slides straight in place, and then the plate goes over the top there, and you screw it in using the original screws that held the original plate on. Just one thing to note, these aren't cheap, but the thing is about them is that they are washable, and the manufacturers say that they should last a cycle of 100,000 miles, which, you know, how many of us do 100,000 miles on a bike? So if you take that into consideration, that normally every year you would have to replace the paper one, which, you know, over here costs sort of £20–25, you're looking at a saving after just a few years, and it will actually pay for itself, let alone give it, hopefully give it a bit more mid-range performance. So let's put everything back in place. Okay, so the new filter and plate is now screwed back in place, ready for the side covers and seat to be put back on. Okay, I've just wheeled her out of the workshop because I'm going to start the engine up. I have been told there's a bit more induction raw with the filter put on, so we'll see how that is. But you can also just see where I put the polished alloy mudguards on. We're losing a little bit of light now, it's starting to get a bit dusky, but I think you can see them. Oh, and the other thing is, a couple of people have mentioned about the reflector plate at the back. Now, on the original one there was a rectangle reflector plate that went down, and of course with these that disappeared. And I have checked, and in the UK it is a legal requirement to have a reflector plate. But what you can have, which will keep you legal, as you can see, I've just put a small round 20mm reflector plate, which is designed specifically for bikes to get them through their MOTs and so forth. And actually, in fact, I seem to remember that the original number plate on the Classic also had one of these tiny reflectors on. So there you are, that's now sorted. So let's just see how she sounds with the new DNA filter in, if she sounds at all. Okay, yeah, the other thing I was told is to just let it idle for 10 minutes or so, and that will allow the fuel injection to respond to the new filter. So they call it the sort of the 10-minute rule. So, well, let her idle for 10 minutes. I hope the neighbours don't mind. We are fairly secluded where we live, so hopefully it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And then what I'm going to do is take her for a spin and see if I can notice any difference. I've been out on the bike this morning already, and so it's sort of the performance is fresh in my mind. So we'll see whether I feel there's any difference. Okay, and I'll let you know. Okay, yeah, I've just taken it for a quick 10-minute spin after allowing it to idle for 10 minutes. Now I was going to video it, but I found that the camera was flat, so I couldn't. So, but I would say definitely has made an improvement. Made it, I feel, a lot livelier, more willing to pull. So yeah, I would say it was a good decision. And of course, the other added bonus, as I mentioned, was that because the filter is washable, it can be used over and over and over again. So you're going to get some savings there inevitably anyway. Okay, well, thanks very much for watching. If you like the videos that I do, please subscribe, and also don't forget to click on the bell so that you're notified whenever I put a new video up. Okay, thanks very much, and bye.